So we're in Detroit and we are heading to Japan.
How are we gonna get around to places?
We have to...
I don't know what to do.
I ordered my first beer.
Front row seats, baby. First class. This is what a Japanese drift first class ticket looks like.
Why are you out of breath?
Because we just walked 10 miles to get here.
How did we even get here?
I don't know.
So we're inside the corner, inside clip at Fuji Speedway with this insane background. And of course we have a photographer friend that we're trying our best to do translation on. It's working pretty well, but he told us to come here. He gave us a stool to take some photos so that as it's panning through, we can capture Fuji Speedway or the Mount Fuji in the background. So yep, that's what we got so far. He's been super helpful. I wish I could. Mario, we gotta make it a mission to get better at this.
Oh, 100%.
Next time we're here, no doubt.
No! Okay.
What does it say?
I just, thank you for helping.
Yeah.
Oh! Arigato, thank you.
Try this right now.
This is so fun. In FD USA, which is awesome, it's wild busy. Like there are people everywhere. Like every corner, every nook, every cranny, there's something happening. There's 9 million commercials. I love them to death, but still, right? Here, there's like 3 people. They're all just vibing, taking photos, eating candy. Just like the environment is just so very relaxed and it's awesome. You can't argue with spending a Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at a track like this, enjoying cars going sideways, listening to some really fun commentary that you really don't understand, taking candy from a stranger that you probably shouldn't have, but you do it because, like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna say no to a guy giving you candy in Japan? You don't do that. I would have rather been drugged and taken the candy than not been drugged and not take the candy and be rude. Mario?
Nah, yeah.
Don't fall this time. But you gotta ask yourself, like, what's the biggest difference between drifting here and drifting in the States? I feel like this still feels like it's more of an activity that they do on the side of what they actually do. It feels more technical. It feels like a little bit more grassroots. It feels still smaller. Where in America, it feels and it is like bigger. It just, everything about it is bigger. So, not that there's a right way or a wrong way, but some of these guys are pushing like 1,000 horsepower, like Andy Gray, which is nuts here on this strip. Whereas other people are like at 6-ish, right? And they're still not running NOS. They're still not running some of these big modifications that are almost standard in FD America if you want to keep up. So by doing that, you almost kind of slow down the sport, but it doesn't make it any less exciting. It just makes it different.
I haven't been to an FD event back in the States, but this feels very passion driven.
Yeah.
Like, people are just doing it because they just like to do it.
Not
and they're gonna go back to their desk job on Monday, but then, you know, in a month they're gonna come back and start drifting again just for fun.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like, I feel like in the States, sometimes people might do it to try to be somebody. Versus here, they're just doing, they don't give a shit about social media, they don't care about anything.
I would agree with that too, because when you think about it, when we were talking to some of those people, a lot of the people mentioned, because we were talking to them about like Torque Drift, and we we're talking about getting them signed on as a driver for the game, and they kept saying, well, you know, it's not my car, it's the company's car. Let me talk to the manager and see if they're open to the concept. So it's like, they're not really even doing it for themselves. No. They're doing it because they enjoy the sport. There's very little like personal marketing behind the drivers.
Behind it.
Yeah, most of the people we talked to on Instagram had like, I don't know, 3,500 followers, 5,000 followers. Pretty much everybody besides like Ken Gucci and Andy Gray. But I mean, most of them, they felt like normal ass people that just drift on the weekends, even though it's FormulaDrift Japan, the highest level of drifting here in Japan. I'm really doing it! I'm really doing it! Holy shit! So I can't even believe that I'm doing this, but I was walking through a parking lot at Fuji Speedway, because we're at Fuji Speedway, and there's a bunch of cool cars that I wish I owned in America, and I figured I would show you and I would give my review, because to be honest, they're all sick. And obviously I'm jealous because all the cool cars seem to be here. Meanwhile, we get a couple cars, and the cars that we do get are marked up to absolute kingdom come. Very first to start it off seems to be this. This is the whole reason the video even started, was because I saw a Subaru Forester STI right-hand drive, and this thing is the bee's knees. First off, any sort of boxy four-door like gets my vote hands down. If these cars came into the United States, I would cream. Never mind, I'm not gonna say it. This one though is an automatic, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'm assuming it's just like a basic daily, but it's still a really cool car. Obviously next to the JZ and the Honda Civic behind it, you can't really go wrong. If I had to pick between the three, I'd probably pick the Chaser. It's super cool. The Honda Civic's obviously super hot fire. I'd probably rate this one though, like a 7. I think it's cool. It's awesome. You wanna know what's cooler? A completed S2000 though. This looks to be a Type something. Hold on. Type S final answer. Yes, which is the equivalent of the CR, I believe. I watched a video, Dustin Williams I think did one, or it was TJ Hunt, I can't remember. I think it was Dustin Williams. This thing is super clean, super sick. It's on some, why is everything on such cool wheels? This thing's on some raised, S2000, probably lowered. Otherwise, the rest of it is completely stock, I think. Mine looks just like this at home. Literally identical. Like everything about this car is exactly what my car looks like. This thing is a solid, super hot fire 10 all day long. Those are Wed Sports, by the way. Pretty cool, one-piece wheels. This is also sick. 2 different sets of wheels because drift car. Right-hand drive, automatically gets a perk. The entire dash is completely crumbling to pieces, but it's a manual. It's got a sticker. What else could you want? It's got working motions. The amount of four-door drift cars I've seen here is astounding. The amount of Chasers, JZX90s, JZX100s out there in the FormulaDrift Japan professional circuit makes me want to see more four-door drift cars than anything else. Everybody in America is running like S15s, S14s. Here, they're running Chasers. That gets a 9. 8.5, final answer. Subaru STI, I don't see rust. Automatic 10. Type R, this thing's brand new. I don't know if you can really give it all the pleasantries, but it does look really neat. But what I want to do, I saw, yes. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. It's the car of cars. This is the car that most people talk about, the car that they want to have as a car. One of the reasons the 86 was so successful was because of how well balanced it was. It was also very easy to slide, and it was very easy to control once it was in a slide because of the wheelbase. These cars were super awesome. They're also very affordable for a prolonged period of time until we got our grubby little hands on them, and now they're actually very expensive to buy and modify and tune. This one looks like it's just an 86 that they drive around. Right-hand drive, it's got some goody stuff on the inside, manual. It's got some color pieces. One more time on the FormulaDrift. It doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it looks like it gets driven. I'd probably give this thing bad boy like a 7. Auto Pleasure Garage though, automatically makes it a 7.5. 9, all day. All freaking day. And look at this lineup of cars. Like, what else could you want besides some Altezas and some S15s and a GTR and an 86? Like, what other combination could you possibly want? This is so cool to see, just sitting in a parking lot next to a bunch of other cars. Not only that, but like, there's something about them looking like they just get driven like a standard car. Like in America, right, it'd be like a WRX, maybe a 240, a Chevy Camaro, a Charger, a Mustang, something like that. People here would probably freak if they saw that. But here, to see this, looks like it's wide-bodied, or at least it has over fenders that has a different front bumper, at least it looks like it does. It's just so cool to also see that they've got like some battle scars. Because it does. It's running different sets of wheels. This one has some damage on it. It's got some sun fade, both of which are manual, both of which got a bunch of shit on the inside. But man, you wouldn't, like, look at how clean that looks. It's such a beautiful car. The taillights on these S15s, in my opinion, are like the raddest thing you can possibly get. This one gets an 8.5, this one gets a 9. The GTST, super cool. These used to be really affordable in America, and now they're not. GTRs used to be $22,000. Now they're like 50 for some reason. And these ones, I think, should still be like a $20,000 car because they're a great car. They're not super powerful, but they're a ton of fun. If you get one in a 4-door, I don't know if they came in a GTST in a 4-door, so don't quote me on that. But they're such just like a decent, like little fun tuner car. 7.5 all day. This one, it's got everything that you need to also be a fun car. More importantly, it's got zip ties. It's officially a drift car if it has the zip ties. I don't know what wheels those are. Black Racing, I'm pretty sure those are reps. But because we're in Japan, there's no such thing as reps because anything from Japan is real. There was a car I wanted to end this video on and we walked right past it. And it is that monstrosity. What in the Men in Black is happening at this car right now? Look at this. What is this? Oh. 1 exhaust, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sense brand. It's got 8 mufflers at least. It's got really good fitment. To be fair, the fitment's actually pretty decent. But the rest of it is very interesting. Now, I'm probably gonna get yelled at for not liking something from Japan, but I just need you to come around here, and I want you to ask yourself, when you were 12 years old, did you draw the back of a car on a history notebook like this? Because I did, and I'm not sure this one is it. I'm gonna give this one probably a 5, but it is super cool. All right, please don't get mad, but no. So we are finishing up with the last round for the championship of FormulaDrift Japan. This was an absolutely wild event because there were so many opportunities for different teams to take home the championship, which was absolutely wild. Now, I I'm a little exhausted. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It's like a 15-hour jet lag, and I'm still trying to sort that out. So I'm drinking coffee and water and pop and Monster Energy all at the same time, and praying that I can stay awake. But it was an absolutely fantastic event. I could not be more excited to be here. It's like a thing off the bucket list to be here, to see this, to experience it, and above all else, get to be a part of something that just feels so familiar, but in an entirely different lens. So thank you so much for Torque Trip for having me out. Torque Motorsport, of course, if you guys haven't had a chance, go check them out as well. I'm Alex.Martini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and today we were able to talk about cars in none other location than Fuji Speedway. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Adios.